When you talk about how much world leaders are worth, the rumors can get pretty wild. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and look at the actual hard numbers for one of the most prominent figures on the planet, India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. Let's jump right in. So let's get right to it. What does the official record really say? Just how wealthy is the leader of the world's biggest democracy? I'm sure you've seen it online. The chatter, right? Claims of hidden billions, secret fortunes. But for this explainer, we are going to focus on one thing and one thing only: the official, publicly available data. All right, so let's start with what we actually know from the declarations he is legally required to make. According to his most recent disclosures, Narendra Modi's total net worth comes out to about 400,000 US dollars. And look, for a leader on the world stage, that number, well, it might be a lot lower than you were expecting. So where does this number even come from? Now, this isn't just some number pulled out of thin air. It's all calculated directly from his official election affidavits. It's pretty simple, really. It's just the value of everything he owns minus anything he owes. Okay, so what is that $400,000 really? Where's all that value actually held? Let's break it down. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the list of what he owns is almost as telling as what he doesn't own. The vast majority of it's in bank deposits and fixed savings. He also owns 4 gold rings. But that's pretty much it. You won't find a personal car, or any major property in his name, or any stakes in private companies. For a world leader, it's a surprisingly simple portfolio. So the next logical question is, where does this money come from? Well, the official record points to 3 main sources. First off, there's his salary from the government as prime minister. Then you've got royalties from books he's written over the years. And finally, of course, the interest he earns from his savings and those fixed deposits we mentioned. It's all pretty straightforward. Okay, but to really get the full picture, we need to look at how this has changed over time. Specifically, let's look at the numbers before and after he became prime minister. So take a look at this. It lays it out pretty clearly. Back in 2014, before he became PM, his net worth was about 1.5 crore rupees. A decade later, it's just over 3 crore. Now, yes, that's an increase for sure, but the scale of that increase is really the crucial point here. And that really gets to the heart of how it grew. This wasn't some lottery win or a sudden windfall. The increase has been slow, it's been steady, and it's directly tied to him saving his salary and the returns on his investments, the very sources we just talked about. And this brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? The online rumors. So on one side, you have these huge, dramatic claims of hidden billions and secret corporate wealth. But on the other, when you actually look for the factual record, there's just nothing. No verified proof from financial investigators, from the courts, or from any international reports. Okay, so we've got the number, but a number on its own is kind of meaningless, right? To really understand what it means, we need to zoom out and do a little global reality check. Wow. Yeah, this chart really tells the story, doesn't it? You've got Narendra Modi's declared wealth at around $400,000. Now look at the others. Benjamin Netanyahu, roughly 13 million. Donald Trump, in the billions. I mean, it's not just a little different. The scale here is absolutely staggering. So what's the bottom line here? The crucial point is this. Based on every public record we have, Prime Minister Modi is one of the least wealthy major leaders on the world stage today. Period. All right, so we've looked at the official numbers, we've broken down the assets, and we've put it all in a global context. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Let's just boil it down to 3 key things you should remember. First, by a huge margin, he's one of the least wealthy major world leaders. Second, despite all the rumors you might see, there's just no verified evidence of some vast hidden fortune. And third, his wealth has grown, yes, but it's been a slow and consistent climb tied to his salary, not some massive, unexplained explosion of wealth. And all of this really leads to a much bigger question, one that goes beyond just the numbers. We've separated the facts from the fiction based on the data that's out there, but it leaves us with something to think about. At the end of the day, how much does a leader's personal wealth, whether it's huge or pretty modest, really matter? And that's a question I'll leave with you. Thanks for watching.